This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things?
Are they rubes? Because I don't cotton to rubes.
Oh, the rubiest. Oh, rubes. So many rubes. Rubes. Please, no rubes. Jim is crazy.
Vikings.
Amen, brother.
Here's the very latest via 9 to Noon's page-turning Tuesday endeavor. It's Mad Producer and yours truly, Paul Allen, at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. And the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, is here in 2 hours. Minds, bodies, and souls need to be right for the 11 a.m. today, ladies and gentlemen. The latest, part of the latest, Ben is back. We're not talking about Ben Gessling, but he will be here at 10 o'clock today as the scribe covering the team for the Star Tribune. Ben is back. Tight end Ben Sims. Pilfered from the pack. Returns to Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center, where he was discovered in shrewd fashion as a college free agent from Baylor in 2023. He can play, and hopefully he can help. But this probably also means things are negative with Josh Oliver.
Yeah.
That'll be a topic with Kevin O'Connell at 11 o'clock today. Face changes required right now. The head coach is here in 2 hours. The latest, McCarthy and Brosmer were seen at practice yesterday, and that purple-cladded warrior Carson Wentz has hit injured reserve and is done for the season. If the 1-2 the rest of the journey is one kid into another kid, are we good with that? If the 1-2 the rest of the journey is one kid into another kid, are we good with that? And good morning.
And good morning. Good with it, given the circumstances of what has transpired. We thank Carson Wentz for what he offered us on the field, the warrior and the Iron Man that he is. I've been begging for JJ's season to start. I did that during camp. Now I'm begging for it to resume. And so very happy to see number 9 back on the field. I assume, PA, with the way that they operate, there will be Desmond Ridder. There'll be some waiver wire related bit that takes place to round things out. But given everything that's transpired, we have to be good with it. One kid into another.
And let's go. The head coach loves both of them. And that topic will come up today with Kevin O'Connell.
JJ, just stay healthy. Be on the field. Play. Let's see it, bud.
Yep. The Carson Wentz to injured reserve and the what's next plan with the kids. Both those topics come up today at 11 o'clock with the head coach. Face changes may be required. All right, here's the latest. 9 to Noon is unfurled or unveiled or uncovered or has been revealed to us on a page-turning Tuesday endeavor at the Minnesota Vikings Eagan facility known as TCO PC. Yeah, you know we. Here's the latest. Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, Andrew Van Ginkel, all at practice yesterday. All right? Woo. 71, 75, and 43 all at practice. 58 and 84 were not. 58 and 84 were not. Yours truly is guessing the former, 58 being Jonathan Grenard, plays It's a guess, but I guess he plays in this game against the Motor City Kitties. So that potentially gives us the opportunity to have the likes of 61, 93, 97, 58, 43, 51, all out there at the same time. That was the original plan. And damn it, 9 to noon wants to see it. Face changes may be required, but we want to see that.
Are you kidding me if we go full strength? Are you kidding me if we're sitting here and I'm sitting on the couch, you're in the stadium, at Ford Field, and we're doing Van Ginkel style? I've been waiting to see him for weeks. Again, I mean, just think about how we're talking about all these big timers.
Yeah.
From the full speed to the 9 or 10 snaps, whatever it was for number 71, Mr. Darisaw, to being full speed yet again. And Grenard, the hardest working member of the Vikes defense, getting twisted up a little bit the other day and now maybe getting back on the field right away. We need all hands on deck for these kiddies, and that would be amazing if we get to see them in full force.
And the Motor City Kitties, well, they're part of the latest. 9 to noon is here in second to none journalistic fashion, providing the very latest with Minnesota Vikings football, because we are in the belly of the beast. We are at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. When they flicked the lights on in the field house about 15, 20 minutes ago, Nordo and I were walking down the superhighway, and we wanted to peek in there, but we were thinking maybe we would see, I don't know, Brett Favre or John Skelton.
Skelton!
Or, just somebody limping around in there. So we...
Is Josh Rosen available?
Josh Rosen. Yeah, face changes were required. There have been several face changes already today, but we're here with the latest. The very latest from 9 to noon. And that includes, it's the Lions, and they're off a bye. Oh, goody. The Lions are expecting the returns of safeties Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch.
Oh, good.
Neither played in last game. And by the way, in case you missed it, here's the latest. Stud defensive tackle Aleem McNeil returned last game.
Yeah.
And
made a difference.
And he debuted October 20th in a blowout win versus Tampa Bay. Didn't play a ton, but was great. He tipped a pass at the line of scrimmage, and I think it may have led to an interception. That's the latest with the Motor City Kitties. Arguably the best safety tandem in the NFL, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, out against the Bucs, both expected to return Sunday at noon. And Aleem McNeil got that race under his belt. Then he got a bye to think about it. And then now we get Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader with Aiden Hutchinson and Nordo's guy Roy Lopez with those nice safeties back there. That's the latest on the kiddies.
Yeah, the latest is going to, as you mentioned, changing our face on many things. We have to change our face a bit, not just on what we expect this weekend, heavy underdogs to these kiddies at Ford Field, and what the challenge is in front of us. And a healthy Lamar, then you can play the schedule game, looking ahead to the Ravens. You have Ben Johnson trying to be new school Detroit with Swift and Manangai, which is more fun to say than probably it is to play, but all the same. Changing our face on the expectations. You know how excited I am for this game, man? I'm excited to get another piece of the puzzle in terms of what we may have at the quarterback spot. Super weird. We got a guy, in agony playing through things the way that Carson did. And we have our kid QB and what the expectation was for him into 2025 playing out. Teams 3 and 4. Everyone's hurt. The whole thing's weird. But we are finding our way back to health, finding our way back to the names that we really liked on the roster in August and July. And we're going to get a chance starting this Sunday to see a more complete project of what Kevin O'Connell wanted to unveil opening night at Soldier Field. So this is going to be sweet. It's scary with all the names you've mentioned. Aleem McNeil, by the way, just rocked that O-line for Tampa in his return. He's a difference maker. Aiden's fantastic and healthy. We get all of that.
Hey.
And they can run the heck out of the ball. So our team needs to be better. Our team needs to get better. But that's part of the fun part of loving this team and looking forward to them each week is they have a chance to be better on Sunday at Ford Field, however things unfold with the kiddies.
And with 10 to play and 9 to noon, courtesy of Bob Seger, Music Immortality, and that sweet ballad called Turn the Page. We went to page turning yesterday on some facets of Minnesota Vikings football that We're working on our very last nerves. Face changes required here in the BEN, Vikings Entertainment Network, and the TCO radio studio. Emphasis are on we're working on our last nerves because we turned the page.
We did.
So what's on the next page? What's on the subsequent pages? Let's cast the gaze to what the next few pages may look like with 10 to play. On the previous page, the last page, we all took in, a monster named Scott Matlock was savaging some of our main characters in said story. But we got out of Inglewood alive, and not many do. We got out of Inglewood alive, despite the Scott Matlock monster trick eating up some of our main characters in the 2025 story. So what's on the next page? Page is closed circuit to Kevin O'Connell. Closed circuit to J.J. McCarthy, assuming you're the quarterback this weekend. 9 to noon has a request. Yours truly has a request, but I think Nordo will be on board. Target Justin Jefferson at least 10 times in this upcoming game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every single, maybe every double, certainly every single, and a fair amount of doubles. Just like Nordo and I like our burgers. All singles and all doubles. Just throw it to him, baby. And let's turn that frown upside down.
Have you ever had a triple cheeseburger? I think Wendy's had like a triple at one point.
I originally had an In-N-Out line crafted in there, but took it out because I don't think you like In-N-Out.
I've had it a couple times. It's fine.
But we like singles and doubles.
Do I look like I've turned down food by any stretch in 15 years?
All right, 3-2. Singles and doubles with Jefferson. How about at least 10 targets?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to lose, and you may not lose, but you're an 8.5, 9-point dog, and the kiddies are really good. I mean, let's go down. If our best is required, if being at our best is required, well, part of your best is Justin Jefferson.
It is.
So that means whether it's going down with the ship, base change required, or actually recognizing 18 can win 50-50s in doubles. How about 10 targets for Justin Jefferson?
I love that, too, because I don't know if Lieber's got like a stat tracker bit going about the Vikings in the red zone. Red zone woes have been tough lately. And I think there was something, Jefferson in the red zone this year has like 4 targets. Like it's some obscenely low and bad number given number 18, right?
He's had to change his face.
So as we change our face and turn the page, number 9 to 18 potentially equaling 6, however that math equation worked on the State Fair sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That has to be in play starting at Ford Field.
Yeah. We missed the 12, so let's marathon this.
You want to?
Courtesy of Steve's marathon. Courtesy of Steve's Appliances, stevesappliances.com. They're having a clearance sale with Steve's Appliances in Mounds View, 7,000 square foot showroom. They're having a clearance sale right now. How about this? Need a refrigerator? Need a KitchenAid stainless steel with print shield French door refrigerator? You can save $1,900 right now. $1,900 off that Rockstar refrigerator. And it's KitchenAid. But that deal ends, that clearance deal ends November the 4th. Steve's Appliances, stevesappliances.com. Learn more about the clearance specials, and the shop deals, and fast delivery, free recycling, and guaranteed low prices. Steve's Appliances. Thank you for the marathon segments. If next pages of this story.
Yeah.
If 97, 93, 61, 58, 43, and 51. If Hargrave, Allen, who's starting to play pretty well, by the way, Jonathan Allen's becoming a handful. If Hargrave, Allen, Redmond, Grenard, Van Ginkel, and Cashman all are active, change Dan Orlovsky's face. Show Dan Orlovsky, who we love, what the vision for the roster looked like. Let's just start here. What if Tate Ratledge wants nothing to do with Jalen Redmond? What if he doesn't?
What if he doesn't?
What do you think of the roster now, Dano?
What about the rookie? What about the rookie getting dominated? And Graham Glasgow's been no bargain at center. So, I mean, what if the interior of getting your groove back in a division collision in a place that you've struggled to win in recent years? You got all the healthy bodies. You think Orlovsky's going to be watching? I think he will be watching. I think he'll be impressed on Sunday.
So we don't know what the next page or pages look like. We don't know what is going to unfurl in this 2025 story. Thus, the what if is in play. Like, there's the previous page, and if we turn the page, which we haven't yet, what if Tate Ratledge, rookie from Georgia, wants nothing to do with Jalen Redmond? Maybe that's part of the story. What if they have to play Javon Hargrave 40 plays? What if they have to play him double what he's been playing because you just can't take him off the field?
Because he's too good, because he's back, because he's a veteran and he worked his way in, and suddenly faces were changed in the locker room.
Yep.
And it was a completely different thing. This feels like turning the page.
Yep.
It's a little bit like a choose your own adventure novel in some ways.
Love it.
Where, okay, make this decision. Do I go into door number 1, turn to page 50? Do I go into door number 2, turn to page 75? And you either find your way through to glory or you fall off a cliff and you have to turn back and then try the thing again. That's again, it's changing your face on expectations where this team needs to be better. And as we see more of those numbers that you mentioned re-entering the fold, being options on Sunday.
Well, just being part of the chat.
Just being freaking available. That's what's exciting about this game against the Lions. This team needs to be better, and they have the chance to be better.
What if Andrew Van Ginkel, what if he plays? What if he jumps a quickie to Jahmyr Gibbs and houses it for his 6th career defensive touchdown? He's Andrew Van Ginkel.
Well, I've completely
Maybe
lost.
That's on the next page.
I've completely lost it with AVG, but he's played in 2 games. I think he was in the game. Was it the Bengals game for like 8 snaps and he had 2 sacks?
Atlanta.
He played 8 snaps. And
I think
2
Atlanta.
Sacks. I mean, that's a high value proposition.
Yeah.
What's he going to do when he plays 40? Let's get him back in there. No, if he jumps a route at Ford Field, I will be jumping up and down, eating a slice of pizza at the radio station, watching with Abbott and his drop foot and the whole thing. Super pumped. We need 43 back, man. We need that guy back. What a difference maker he is, and that could be on the next page.
What are some things or thing Mad Producer at Mad Producer 1 via the X Machine, if you are so inclined to follow, as 9 to noon does? What are some things Mr. Nordo or thing Nordo wants to see on the next page?
Yeah, I got a few different things. If I was choosing my own adventure and I got the right answers I was looking for, a few pop in my head. First one is going to be stopping the run. And that plays into you talking about all the right names potentially being back at practice and what Orlovsky had kind of deemed the most disappointing roster or something like that, to paraphrase, in the NFL. One of the disappointing parts of this roster, we can focus on the QB all day, has been the defense. Where into the bye, you're talking about one of the more efficient defenses in the NFL. The last 2 games, the bottom's fallen out. And whether it's Kamani Vidal or what you saw from a perfect passer rating, you're getting it from all angles here. But the basis of this, specifically with Gibbs and Montgomery, and then you're looking at King Henry and Lamar, and you're looking down the road here. I want to see what Flores can do to adjust. We're always talking about what's Kevin O'Connell going to do to adjust here and running 3rd and short, et cetera, et cetera. How about B-Flow adjust? And now he's going to have some of his prized possessions back and available on Sunday. One of those things, it would be, I want to see how they adjust to really clamp down against the run with some big time running backs on our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I'd flip that then. I would flip it to running the ball more effectively. And there's game script, and we got tackle issues and health issues galore. Totally get it. Aaron Jones wasn't in the mix on IR for a stretch. But I look at 2 games. I look at the Bears game and the Browns game. Bengals game was too weird, but they ran for like $170 in that game. The commitment to it in close scoreline games, and the commitment that Kevin O'Connell had specifically in the opener. I want to get Jordan Mason in the mix. He led the run in carries, and then you saw almost just defiantly, Kevin O'Connell's like, yeah, I get it. You got Malik Collins. You got Garrett, Myles Garrett, but I don't care. We're going to run. We need to be effective. And that commitment, I loved seeing it in those two particular games. I want to see that. And then my last thing for you, PA, and this, if I'm writing my own book, I'm going to see this starting in Detroit. I want to look and see J.J. McCarthy, the signs of being a bit more decisive and aware.
Thank you.
Quicker release, the growth arc. That's what these final 10 games are really about. Want to win every game, want to bounce way back in a big way into division contention. We want to play games in late January. We want to hoist to Lombardi. We want to do all of those things. Really, I think in the true, real crux of what's in front of us for the next 10 games is let JJ grow, let JJ throw, find 18 so we know what we have from the kid QB. So that's really just signs of life, signs of growth, signs of evolution from Mr. McCarthy.
It would be really super special for 9 to noon tomorrow, Wednesday, at the 651 Carpets Plus Studios. Be really sweet if we can get a Minnesota Wild victory tonight. They host the Winnipeg Jets. Brian Rolston, former, he of the Slapshot Immortality ilk. He joins at about 9:45 because there is a 25-year celebration of Minnesota Wild hockey taking place this season, including tonight, where I believe tickets are still available at wild.com for an opportunity to receive a Marion Gaborik bobblehead and get autographs from Pierre-Marc Bouchard and/or Marion Gaborik, Brian Rolston, Stepan Bayou at a special pregame signing, and tickets for the limited edition 25th anniversary bobblehead package and autograph opportunity can be purchased at wild.com, but I'd jump in there right now. I would jump in there right now, wild.com, and get those. Brian Rolston joins at about 9:45. Then we have the scribe, Ben Gessling. He joins at about 10:03. That's when some of the Minnesota Vikings-related conversation will continue. And, from here, for the Minnesota Vikings, from this 3-4 with 10 to go, as a long shot, no doubt, but I'm not going to make a prediction. I'm just going to lay out what I believe the reality of the rest of the year to be. And do note, your announcer is saying, as a long shot, Minnesota Vikings, as a long shot, to win the NFC North, you have to sweep Detroit and you have to sweep Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's come to, you got to go 4-0 against two of the best 5 teams in the NFL. That drama unfurls Sunday at noon from the Motor City Davy on your audio leader, FM 100.3 KFAN. Any idea what happened with the Wolves last night? A, I couldn't find Peacock, and B, I fell asleep.
Well, I was locked in. I don't have Peacock either. So I was following via social media. I'm kind of refreshing X. I don't have Peacock. I'm not going to get Peacock. Appreciate the league trying to be on every single streaming platform that has ever freaking existed. Grady was on the call. I wish I could have seen it, but I'm not getting Peacock. It's not happening.
I think the question could be answered easily like this. Paul, here's what happened to the Wolves last night. Anthony Edwards is out 2 weeks with a hamstring.
Yeah, that's not.
And Joker, Jamal Murray, and their best players played, and we got dusted.
Well, that's the thing. What I was gathering, though, is I think Jamal Murray had one of those third quarters of the ages.
Really?
Like I think he exploded.
I think he had like 45 points or something.
Yeah, and I saw it at one point. I was checking in, and it was, he was in the high 30s. And I think he may have had 20-plus points in the third quarter alone.
Hey.
So the defensive dam broke. Just kind of seeing that it's an interesting kind of, what do the Wolves look like with Anthony Edwards? You've never had to ask that question before. I've seen that bounced around and kind of that posed via social media and some reporting on the team and such. Mm-hmm. And through one, very game leading into the half, and then by the time I checked back in at the end of the third, I think they were down 8. So third quarter, an issue for a team that has done a lot of work over the last couple of years to come out of breaks hot and heavy. So we got by the Nugs last night, which the Nugs are good. The Nugs are good, and Aaron Gordon didn't have 50, and Christian Brown couldn't help out Khan and LFL, but Jamal Murray was hot last night.
Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, joins 9 to noon each and every Tuesday at about 11 o'clock, including today. There is much about which to chat, including but not limited to season-ending injuries, new tight ends, Healed players returning, McCarthy take 2, and jumbo packages. That's 11 o'clock today, FM 100.3 KFAN. That's part of the TimberTech What's on Deck set list. If you need a deck, if you need a porch, if you want free samples, go to timbertech.com. And Brett Blakemore guides the Great Ship Love Covenant from FM 100.3 KFAN. And he has some cash to give away. Good morning, Brett.
And good morning. The fan and two-man and junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Head to KFAN.com. The keyword is bank this hour. Keyword bank. KFAN.com. Keyword bank. For a Friday football feast this week, Buffalo Wild Wings Chanhassen be there as PA. Nordo, Alec Lewis get you set for Vikings Lions this week with nonstop football talk, great food, drinks, your shot at awesome prizes all morning. Doors open at 8 a.m. Get full details now, KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Bites. Brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef.
Double B.
You can shop online. Box of meat shows up at your doorstep. Local Coburn's and Kowalski's locations. They're proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics. You know, I walked in and security personnel helping me out, and I wonder, because I forgot this was in my bag. You think the security guy found it weird that I just have some beef tallow from Thousand Hills?
What is beef tallow?
That's just fat. You just cook with it.
Okay.
That's all.
Just drive around with it
and oil or something.
Put your finger in it like peanut butter and just eat it?
Oh, that seems aggressive, but it's been in my backpack for a couple of weeks. I forgot it was in there. Mm-hmm. So that's running through the machine. What is that guy doing with beef tallow? Well, it's terrific, so cook with it if you can.
Maybe they thought you were one of the cooks who were heading up to the third floor to the cafeteria because the food here is elite.
It is elite indeed. Ben Sims. I was just talking with Brett Blakemore down the line over the course of the break. He's missing Ben Sims, no longer a member of the Green Bay Packers.
Well, he should.
At one point, the Vikings missed him because he left Minnesota and was signed by the Green Bay Packers.
So sad.
Special teams guy, third back into the roster tight end. Did have a touchdown a couple seasons ago for the green and gold. But welcome back, Ben Sims. Offers then the other shoe dropping, which is, I believe it was an ankle for Josh Oliver, and potentially such that he would not be available for this Kitties game.
Yeah.
Ben Sims, we're hoping that he can jump in and potentially help early and often for the Purple at Ford Field on Sunday.
Ain't no doubt. And when I heard about this, I got moderately excited because I liked Ben when he was here. And see, for the Green Bay Packers, I thought, I initially thought without reading the story that he was one of those take from the practice squad bits. But then you quickly look at the roster for the Green Bay Packers in a league where jumbo packages are becoming on vogue, are becoming n/on vogue. Here's what I mean. The Green Bay Packers have a tight end on their active roster named John Fitzpatrick. Now, he doesn't play as much as Tucker Kraft, who's the bomb, or Luke Musgrave, who's a little bit of an underachiever from where he was taken, but he's still pretty good. But they got this John Fitzpatrick, 6'7", 262. I see what you're doing here, Matt LaFleur. You're setting things up for December for the jumbo packages with Fitzpatrick and the extra offensive lineman. Why? Because the before chatting with Kevin O'Connell today at 11 o'clock, and off things that Nordo and I have chatted about really for the last week, 2 weeks back to the Pittsburgh game, the jumbo package approach to offense is becoming it's spreading league wide, where teams are using an extra offensive lineman more than they ever have, or beef-eating tight ends, or monster fullbacks like Scott Matlock. This is starting to emerge as more than a change-up within team schemes. So it was like Fitzpatrick or Sims. They opted to keep Fitzpatrick. I know they like Sims, and I know the people here like Sims, but Ben got cut because of this beef eater named John Fitzpatrick.
Bites!
Sykes bites!
To that end, you've been talking about it for a couple of days. Whether it's Dan Skipper, upcoming Dan Skipper of the Lions, going jumbo, or Fred Johnson against the Eagles. Fred Johnson, extra lineman for the Eagles. If it is becoming in vogue, would the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings ever consider going jumbo when he gets all the numbers back? And who would it be, PA? Would it be Joe Huber, Justin School, Michael Juergens, maybe a beef-eating tight end? I don't have Ben Sims' stats in front of me. I know Urisek's not beef-eating per se.
Either is Sims.
No,
we need Oliver.
We need Oliver back, certainly. But could you ever foresee the Vikings going jumbo more often to follow suit?
I think it's been talked about with the trading deadline trade deadline approaching. Keep your eyes and ears on the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh. Tennessee.
And specifically Ole Udoh. Okay, here comes Ole Udoh right back into the mix as the extra offensive lineman.
Fifth year from Elon.
I
don't know what season he's in at this point. Vikes bites!
But from an offensive lineman standpoint here, the last time I recall the Vikings kind of quasi-consistently using that extra offensive lineman, man, it might have been 2020. When did they play at Baltimore against Lamar? 2021?
21 or 22.
Okay, around there. It was the day Hitman came up day of the game. Bynum had to debut.
Bynum had a pick.
And a sack on Lamar Jackson. He had a pick and a sack on Lamar. Nice debut, my brother.
Did they go to OT that game?
Don't know. But in that game, Blake Brandell was the extra offensive lineman a fair amount of plays. So it's difficult to think jumbo package extra offensive lineman here. With all due respect, and a face change may be required at the end of this statement. It's just very difficult to conceive that when you have no idea which offensive linemen are going to play, how long they're going to play in just the upcoming game.
Under the pretense that all the numbers were back, absolutely.
Brandell.
It's a different conversation in that regard. Although maybe we need Brandell at center. That's the tough thing.
Well, a fair amount of the public thinks they should just look the other way on Ryan Kelly's concussions and just make him the extra offensive lineman and just bang into beef eaters without a care in the world. That's just how it works.
I would prefer Ryan Kelly makes health decisions, let's just say paramount, given the recent concussion woes that the veteran center has had.
Same.
Final Vike bite. Vike bites.
Vike bite.
It was announced yesterday, PA, Carson Wentz, kind of learning more, coming out of the bye, rumblings about a shoulder injury, what's going on with that. He's still ready to rock. He's going to play through it against the Eagles. And we watched that game. There was a vast regression. Not, for a guy that's never had necessarily pinpoint accuracy, clearly something was different in that Eagles game. It continued to find its way into the Chargers game on a Thursday night. News coming out yesterday that Carson's been put on IR and will be having shoulder surgery, torn labrum. I think there was a fractured shoulder socket. Potentially a dislocation as part of all of this initially as well, non-throwing shoulder as it was. He is gone. You mentioned into the open, but just kind of your thoughts on, surprising is not really the way to put it, but how they handled it and just kind of how he handled it. And now his season is over as J.J. McCarthy is set to return to practice.
Well, it's not that my opinion really matters. On a day, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings is going to be with the radio show for 25 minutes. Ben Gessling, who covers the team for the Star Tribune, he'll be here at 10 o'clock. And I'll offer more then. Brian Rolston he's on the horizon, and we don't want to be late for that. I don't know how much I think Carson may speak tomorrow. So again, if Carson Wentz does a press conference tomorrow, it's going to be great hearing from him exactly what he was going through and what led to this whole thing. From a guy who, by the way, when he tore his ACL at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, I don't know if he was completely straight with the injury and like how much it hurt, because he went back in the game with a ripped up ACL and LCL, I believe.
Didn't he throw a TD?
In a game the Eagles were trying to secure the 1 seed. They were playing for the 1 seed, and he threw a touchdown pass in that game. So playing through adverse pain-related situations is in this guy's DNA. And the from what I understand, and then maybe others have reported on it, his injury what was more about pain tolerance and really couldn't worsen if he played. But that's just what you're hearing from me, hearing it from other people. You'll hear from the head coach at 11 today, and we will get into that topic, and Carson Wentz tomorrow. So I think that's the best way to land the plane on Vikes Bites with that individual topic. The expectation is McCarthy will be the starting quarterback this weekend at Ford Field. Vikes Bites provided by
Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef.
Around the corner, Minnesota Wild with a 25-year celebration this evening. It's against the Peg and the Jets. Brian Rolston, Minnesota Wild Immortality. He joins us next on KFAN. Happy now to be joined by Minnesota Wild Immortality. Brian Rolston spent 17 years in the NHL, 3 with the Minnesota Wild. And this is part of the Wild's 25-year anniversary celebration, which starts tonight versus the Winnipeg Jets. Wild.com if you want to get tickets for this. The package includes a Marian Gaborik bobblehead and autographs from the likes of Marian Gaborik and or Pierre-Marc Bouchard, Stéphane Veilleux, and Brian Rolston, who joins us now. Brian, it's Paul Allen. How are you? How are things?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Nice chatting with you, man. Thanks for making time, not only now, but tonight. And Pierre-Marc Bouchard joined the radio show yesterday, and I kind of started asking him the same thing. This stage of your life, how is this stage of your life post your excellent playing career going?
It's going great. I mean, I think I spent 17 years in the National Hockey League, and basically my kids have dictated my life after I've done playing. So I had kids that went through hockey, and they're on to playing. One's playing minor pro right now in the American League, and another one that's playing junior hockey. So I spent a lot of time in youth sports and coaching and doing those kinds of things, and it kind of it snowballs. Chasing your kids around the car, driving your kids around the country.
All right. So from 2 to 3-ish decades ago, when you started playing hockey and you were coached all the way through your career, man, New Jersey and Boston and Jacques Lemaire and stuff like that. When you coach kids at no matter the age, what's your approach? Because let's say 2020 through 2025, 2015 through 2025, a lot different than when you started. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the coaching now in youth sports is way better, obviously, than when we grew up. We have a lot of NHL guys around the whole country are involved in youth sports and to helping kids, and your approach is being professional and teaching them the game and trying to teach them the right way to play the game and continue to help them with their skill development. And and obviously we follow the USA Hockey model as much as we can. And so a lot has changed. There's a lot more out there for coaches and development. I think it's for the better, for sure.
And I'm not sure he still does it. My daughter graduated from Holy Family High School in Victoria, Minnesota. And, she's a couple of years removed from that. But when I used to go to the girls' hockey games, I think Stéphane Veilleux was an assistant coach for, either the girls' team or the girls' and boys' team. So that, that's something that he continues to do now off what you just said. And, with Pierre-Marc Bouchard joining yesterday, when I was preparing for it, knowing you were coming up today, man, You guys had a great thing. You and Pierre-Marc Bouchard had a great thing. As I recall, he was kind of your handy-dandy helper with some of these goals, right?
He was. He was a big part of it. He had tremendous vision. He was one of the best passers that I played with over my 17 years. So, he played a big role in my success in Minnesota and arguably my best years of my career. So he was an excellent player. You know, you look at it and you look at, you know, their babies at the time, you know, Brent Burns and Mikko Koivu, and obviously had excellent careers. But, you know, at the time we were just starting out and they had all those good draft picks, but, you know, you see how difficult it can be to get everybody at the right age in order to compete for the Stanley Cup. So obviously Mikko and those guys were young, obviously had great careers. It's very interesting to look back and you just notice different things about the game.
The Brian Rolston slap shot, was that of immortality? People used to ask him a lot of questions about it when he played here. I probably should know this answer, but I don't, so I'm just going to save it for Brian with that big time slap shot, man. When did you know legitimately you could unfurl bombs? Because that's what they were.
Well, you know, early on when I played in the American League with Robbie Fatorik and the Albany River Rats, early on I was playing on the point on the power play. So it's something that, you know, I always had a pretty good shot. I think it's inherent, but, you know, I was at an early age, I was given those opportunities on the power play to play defense. And I really did it my whole career. So, and playing for Jacques Lemaire early on in my career definitely helped me, my defensive game and being responsible defensively, because you come out of school and you're a big-time offensive guy, and that's not necessarily, you know, what it's going to be in the National League. So having played for him was huge for the longevity of my career.
And Brian Rolston is our guest, 17 years in the NHL, 3 with the Minnesota Wild. Wild in Winnipeg this evening, wild.com for a special bobblehead and anniversary celebration tickets, wild.com, Gabby bobblehead, autograph, stuff like that available tonight, wild.com. And you know, it's mentioning, you know, that you coach or have coached with your slapper, with your slap shot. What's the training for that? Or is it just part of the gift? Because, like, I would imagine, you know, that you've coached kids or seen a lot of players who they all want to do that, slap the puck as hard as you did, but not everybody has that gift. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It is a gift for sure. And, you know, you see different players that are special in the National League, and those are gifts, and when you get gifts, you have to work extremely hard to stay on top of it. And if you're lucky enough to get, you know, gifts, I think you owe it to yourself and owe it to the people around you to maximize those gifts with hard work.
Just a few to close here with Brian Rolston. If I happen to see you tonight, I'll give you $50 if you can answer this question correctly. You ready?
Yeah.
Brian wore the C all 3 seasons here. He was the captain all 3 seasons here. Now, your first season, 05 and 06, there were 5 captains, including you. Can you name the other 4?
Oh, God. Probably not.
Well, I mean, one of them I barely had heard of. Well, okay. Here are the initials.
Right? When Jacques was there, we had a floating C. Mm-hmm. So he used to change months at a time.
Okay.
To give different guys a C, and I think he used it as motivation a little bit. And you know, if you had a really strong month, you got the C. But no, I'd be curious to hear who they were.
All right. Well, one guy's last name rhymes with tuba. Philippe Kuba.
Philippe Kuba.
With wonderment. And then you had Willie Mitchell. You had Wes Walls. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
And then,
Wallsy for sure.
With this floating C, and I apologize for not remembering this guy, Alex Henry. Alex Henry wore the C that year. Who's Alex Henry?
Yeah, that's not a surprise. He was a kid that worked extremely hard, was kind of a guy that was up and down from the minors to the NHL, and great guy and well-deserved.
One of those names, Wes Walls, somebody I greatly admire. He playing with Wes Walls. You know, of all the players with whom you played for 17 years, I mean, he was the ultimate scrapper. Puck battles, just tough as nails, right?
He was, and I'm looking forward to seeing him today. But yeah, he was. He's a super intense guy. You know, really a great team guy. I can't say enough about him. He was awesome. And he was another guy, you know, a lot of guys got opportunities on those original teams for the Wild that had been playing in the minors and made the best of it and made themselves a career out of it. So it's kudos to those guys that worked extremely hard and made nice careers in the National League.
Lastly, Brian, what was it like playing with Bill Guerin? You played with him in New Jersey and Boston.
Yeah, Billy, special player. Like I came in as a rookie to the New Jersey Devils, and Billy had established himself maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe before I went in. So
yep,
I've known Billy a long time, and he took me under his wing and made a big difference in my career, and I ended up playing with him again in Boston. So we have a long history for sure, and you know I'm and his wife, and so there's a long history there between Billy and I.
Enjoy the evening, my brother, and thanks for the time on the radio and coming back for the 25-year anniversary tonight. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
See you, bud. Brian Rolston. Bye. 3 years with the Minnesota Wild, and we have the 25-year anniversary bobblehead ticket package for the Wild this evening. They also have anniversary celebrations November 4th. I think it's against Nashville. Then one in late December, one in late January. But tonight, the ticket package includes a Marian Gaborik bobblehead, plus the opportunity to get autographs from the likes of Pierre-Marc Bouchard, Marian Gaborik, Brian Rolston, Stéphane Veilleux. That's at a special pregame signing. And the Wild this evening are going to unveil the 25th anniversary sweater, the jerseys for the first time, paying homage to the team's inaugural season. You can take a peek at those sweaters at shop.nhl.com. Second hour begins with the Scribe, chatting about the Minnesota Vikings. Ben Gessling joins 9 to noon next.